Let's go. We are 8 days away from the NFL kickoff. This is going to be my week 1 running back rankings, 1 through 30. If you guys like the content, as always, like and subscribe, and let's dive into it, guys. At number 1, it is going to be CMC. The 49ers do have a top 10 plus schedule against running backs this season. They rank number 7. He did see 777 running back snaps last season. I know he's getting older. Now you have Elijah Mitchell, who's could come back, sprinkle in, not sprinkle in. But due to his injury history, I mean, if something happens to Elijah Mitchell, you could see a plus 5 to 7 variation difference between the 1 and the 2 at running back if that happens for CMC. And I mean, even with Elijah even sprinkling in, this guy is still the most elusive back on the field. You have to put him at number 1. At number 2, it is going to be Nick Chubb. Now, the problem here is that the Browns do have a bottom 10 schedule as a running back for strength of schedule. They do have a top 5 O-line, which is a plus. They will have Deshaun Watson, second year, getting things under command, learning the system a little better. But now that Kareem Hunt is out of town, so Nick Chubb had 660 carries last year. Kareem Hunt had 139. So now you can just pretty much book this guy for 800 touches on the season, which is going to be numbers through the roof. Could be your possible RB1. At number 3, it is going to be Austin Eckler, who I'm a little skeptical about his age being 28 coming into the season, but he is saying this is my contract year. I'm going to have my best year I've ever had. And you can't say he's not. All this guy ever does is just produce. 734 touches last season. Great pass catcher at the backfield. The Chargers offense should be electric. He's another one that could also be an RB1, participant guy. At number 4, it is my favorite 3-down all-around pure running back in the NFL, and that is Saquon Barkley. This guy's numbers last year, even though he finished RB5, were astronomical with 856 total snaps played. That's first, and second was Dalvin Cook with 841, which you should think about when it comes to the Vikings, but I'll get to that later. Saquon Barkley, new offensive line upgrade. They do add Darren Waller, will be their wide receiver 1, but he's a tight end. You could say wide receiver 1 target. Looks like he's going to get massive targets throughout the season. Daniel Jones coming into it looks better in the preseason. The passing game looks like they're going to have a couple more weapons with Isaiah Hodgins maybe coming at a wide receiver 1. I like Saquon Barkley at 4 this season. At 5, yes, above Bijan Robinson is going to be Tony Pollard. This man is absolutely electric. Now that Zeke is out of town, I feel like he's undervalued. All 5 of these guys that I started with could be RB1. Tony Pollard is my dark horse RB1 this season. In games where Zeke didn't play, he averages 17 plus fantasy points per game, and now he's gone. The show is going to be all his. He only did that on 569 snaps last season, which is absurd. The Cowboys do have a mid-tier 17th ranked schedule versus running backs. I like Tony Pollard so much this season. If you can get him in the second round, sometimes the others fall up for it is the best value in the second round in your draft. At number 6, it is going to be the rookie Bijan Robinson out of Texas, coming from a zone scheme in Texas, coming into the Atlanta offense, which is prolifically the second highest running offense per attempt with the number 1 ranked O-line. That is also a zone scheme offense. I mean, the sky is going to be the limit, but it's one of those picks where it's like, do I draft a rookie in the first round? And I'm having this problem in my 14-man league at pick 6. I keep going Chubb, Bijan. Like, I don't know what to do, but it's everything is there on the board written for you. You just got to pull the trigger. And I feel like it's going to actually happen. And he could also be up there with those first 5 guys as a top tier, 1 to 3 running back this season with how much Arthur Smith loves to just pound the ball. Coming in at 7, it is going to be King Henry, coming off 648 touches last season. I feel like he is vastly undervalued in this draft this year. I know that he's 29 and people say his age is kicking in and Father Time's going to get him. This guy's just built different, man. He's just an absolute monster with the ball in his hands. Breaks every single tackle that happens like 90% of the time. So they also have the 4th best running back schedule heading into the season, which I know they don't pass the ball that much, but now they have D-Hop that will help open things up on the outside for him. I feel like Derrick Henry could also end up with those top 5 echelon running backs this season. At number 8 is the most skeptical one I have on my board, but he's so good. I just can't take him out of the top 10. I know he's on the pup list. I know he doesn't like what's going on in Indianapolis, but Jonathan Taylor's skill set is so good. It's just you cannot not target this guy. I mean, do I take him in the 4th or 5th now that he misses 4 games, or does he drop to 6th or 7th? Where's the value? Is he even going to play? It's a huge risk, huge reward. If you play Dynasty, you're honestly going to draft this guy in the 4th or 5th round either way. But I'm going to keep Jonathan Taylor at 8. I'll probably drop him down as we go on through the weeks, but for now, I'll leave him at 8. At number 9, recently signed a 1-year, $12 million contract, Josh Jacobs and the Oakland Raiders. This guy had 821 touches last season. Absurd amount, led the league in rushing, signs his contract, gets back. I know the Raiders are going to be down in the dumps, but his volume will be so good that it's just, Zamir White may not even see the field. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be the Josh Jacobs show. This is the showcase for if he wants to get re-signed or traded. He's going to put everything out there, lay it all on the line. Josh Jacobs, still a top 10 running back, in my opinion. Number 10 is one of my favorite mid-target drafts in about the end of round 2, start of round 3. It is Joe Mixon. It's like people are forgetting that this guy does so much for the Bengals. I know all the highlight talk is going to be Jamar Chase, Higgins, Burrow, but this guy's like the scrap guy. Always gets it done. The Bengals are 19th against the run this year, which is bottom of the barrel, tougher, but they did help their O-line in the offseason. He still saw 624 snaps last season with Samaje Perine on the field, who is now out of town. It is going to be pure the Joe Mixon show. This is going to be a 3-down workhorse season. Could be his best season. Get Joe Mixon on your roster. At number 11, it is going to be Ramondre Stevenson. Now, this is one of those running backs that I've been talking with people that you should move down your boards because Zeke Elliott's going to eat in and he's going to take 10 goal line touchdowns. I don't know if I'm buying all that fully. I'll say that, Zeke might get 3, 4, maybe 5 touchdowns on the season. It's going to be the Ramondre show still either way. He will get all the pass catching work. He will get all the first, second down, maybe a couple snaps lost. This guy was on the field. 700 touches last season. They are facing a tougher schedule with a 23rd ranked run schedule heading into the season. I don't see the Patriots as, contenders this season, but I think the pass catching will put him above the next guys I'm going to name, just let alone because his hands are so good and he's so elusive in the open field. I'm going to keep him at number 11. At number 12 is my most controversial running back, and Najee Harris, because everyone thinks that Jalen Warren is up and coming and he's going to take so many snaps away, kind of like the Zeke Ramondre situation. Just look at this number for a second from last year. And you got to factor in that he had a Liz Frank injury at the beginning of the year that hampered him almost all year. So Najee Harris last year played 763 snaps. Okay. Now you're going to tell me that this guy isn't a top 15 running back playing that much with the new offense. Kenny Pickett, second year in the system. Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Pat Fryerman, with enough to take away the defense to get him out the box to run. I may be moving Najee up my board while everyone else is moving Najee down, but right now I have him at 12. At number 13, it is Breece Hall. I mean, I've been out on this guy all year with the ACL. I really don't like drafting running backs coming off of ACL, especially when the injury is heading into the season like this is. The MDs that I've been reading on Twitter say that his knee will be 90% by week 4, 5, or 6, and he'll be the guy down the end of the stretch that wins you a fantasy championship, and Dalvin Cook's going to carry the beginning of the load. It's such an iffy spot for me right now, so I'm going to leave him at 13 and just leave it there because I really want to drop him down to 18, 19, but everyone's hype is moving him up, so I'll keep him at 13 for now. At 14, it is Travis Etienne. They are facing the 22nd toughest running schedule this year. They did add Tank Bigsby, who another situation people think is going to come in and take his job and work the goal line. I don't really see any of that either. I mean, the coach just came out and said he's getting 1,600 to 1,700 yards. I like Etienne more than other people this year. I see him actually possibly cracking the top 12, top 10. Heading on to number 15, it is the electric rookie Jahmyr Gibbs. The Lions have the number 1 easiest running back schedule this season. This man is going to eat. And here is why I'm not buying the David Montgomery. I know that Jamal Williams had 17 touchdowns last season, and they think that David Montgomery is a better version of him. But what you're missing is that Jahmyr Gibbs is a 10 times better version than DeAndre Swift. This guy is not going to come off the field as much as DeAndre Swift in the rotational lines did last year. I could see Monty getting 5, 6, maybe 7 touchdowns. But at the rate the Lions move the ball on offense, the pace, the speed, the way they produce yards and points, like just like that, he is going to be a running back that could be moving up my boards coming up soon here. At number 16, it is going to be Kenneth the K9 Walker. So he stepped in last year off the Rashad Penny injury for the Seattle Seahawks. I think it was the week 4 or 5. I don't want to misquote it. Stepped in 630 snaps as a rookie. They're trying to buy into this. They drafted Charbonnet in the 2nd round, and he's going to be the 3rd down back. Yeah, I could see him being the 3rd down back because K9 has had, pass blocking problems, receiving problems, but he didn't think he was going to get the job right away as a rookie. Like, you don't think that he worked on these things? I don't know if I'm fully buying into the Charbonnet going to, take time away from him, because when you saw this guy run the ball, he was just electric. I mean, he is a one-shot breakaway player, can take anything to the house anytime. I like him a lot at 16. I think I may be moving him up as we go on. At 17, it is going to be Aaron Jones. The Packers have a top 5 easy run schedule in 23. Him and A.J. Dillon are going to split. I think they're going to eat. He did see 638 carries last season. That was with Aaron Rodgers. Now we get to see what Jordan Love can do. I don't know if I'm as high on his value at ADP as others are, but I could, this guy just produced his top 12 for like the past 5 years. So, I mean, it's the safe floor play if you want to go for it. I don't know if I'm fully in on him and his ADP, but I do like Aaron Jones at 17 this season. Number 18 is J.K. Dobbins. This is one of my toughest guys to put this high because, I mean, I've done tons of videos where I just say I'm out on J.K. Dobbins. I don't want to draft him. I mean, this guy's missed 27 games in 3 years. The knees are just beat up. And now you're going to tell me that they're bringing in a new offensive coordinator and Todd Monken, and they want to get the pace going more and get more snaps in and move the ball more. Like, I wished he'd be eased in and like give me like a rotation with Justice Hill and Gus Edwards, but if he's the full bore guy and he can survive the season and this offense is flying, this is an absolute league winner. It's so much of a risk for me. I'm not as high on J.K. Dobbins as others. At number 19 is one of my favorite late round draft picks in Rachaad White. Listen to this number. Last season, Leonard Fournette played 689 snaps. I was rounding up. 689 snaps split with Rachaad White. Now he gets all those. Like, this guy may see 800 total snaps. Baker Mayfield is the number 1 quarterback at dumping it off to running backs at 28%. He is a great pass catching back out of Arizona State. He played the 3-down role at Arizona State. He is ready for this. It is going to be, I'm going to say, one of my favorite league winner late running backs is Rachaad White. At number 20 is Alexander Mattison, but we're going to go off the same kind of stat right there. Dalvin Cook had 841 snaps last year for the Vikings. That job is now Alexander Mattison's. I know that he hasn't really been a 3-down back yet, and Ty Chandler could mix in. He's looking good in camp. It's going to be his job to lose. This is going to be the Alexander Mattison show. The Vikings are the 3rd best schedule this season against running backs. He is going to feast. Draft him higher than everyone else. I promise you he's going to have a big year. Coming in at 21 is going to be Cam Akers. Now, I know they're saying he's going to get the 3-down role and he's going to produce and be a league winner. I'm not really fully on the league winner stuff with Cam Akers. I do like his value at his ADP where you can draft him now. We do know that he's another year off the Achilles, which is better and healthy. I can't believe he came back that healthy last year off a major injury that ruins running backs' careers. He did produce 430 snaps last year off of it and was running back 5 down the stretch. So, I mean, there is plus signs to look at, but I look at it as the Rams. I don't see them winning that many games. I don't see them being ahead in many games, which is also a risk for Cooper Kupp, but I'll get into that in my next video. I mean, this guy's not the most prolific pass catching back. I'll leave him at 21. I'm just gonna can't make it to 21. James Conner comes in at number 22. I've dropped this guy down from like 13 to 22 with the Cardinals fire sale that's happening. They're pawning off linemen left and right, gaining picks. Looks like they're tanking for Caleb. Kyler Murray maybe next. Marquise Brown maybe next. I mean, this guy is the pure workhorse, and he does produce. He did win fantasy championships down the stretch last year. He was almost averaging 20 points a game for like the past 6 games at the end of the season. It's like people forget. But now they have the 20th ranked hardest strength of schedule for running backs. He did play 663 snaps last year. I do think they'll lean more on Keontae Ingram as it goes on, or, sign someone along the way. I don't think they'll full just bell cow him out with the season tanking. So I have James Conner at 22, and it's a really sad 22. At 23 is the guy that has been shooting up draft boards like crazy. It is James Cook. I know he only saw 269 snaps last year. That was behind Devin Singletary. Now the job is his. They do have the 30th ranked toughest running back schedule, which puts them at, third worst. But his pass catching ability is through the roof when you have Diggs, Gabe Davis, signing Dalton Kincaid. I feel like it's going to be more than just focusing on the running back. And James Cook is going to have super high value. I'm not buying the Damian Harris one preseason touchdown where everyone goes, oh, now Damian Harris is going to get all the goal line work. I am not buying into that. I love James Cook at his ADP. I feel like he's a huge, huge league-winning running back. At 24, it is going to be Miles Sanders coming off his best year, probably with the Eagles last year. He saw 673 touches. The Panthers will have a top 10 schedule at exactly number 10 PFF rank versus the run this season with the Panthers. I have him so low purely based, kind of like the Cam Akers situation. Like their team, they won't be up in that many games. They'll be playing from behind. I don't really know how much I've seen Miles Sanders play the 3-down role. So if you look at like Philly last year, they rotated a lot of people. I mean, the volume will be there. I just don't know. He's kind of a live and learn. Let me see week 1 and we'll go from there kind of thing. But for right now, I have him at 24. At 25 is Javonte Williams getting Sean Payton as his coach, coming off major injury. Another one, is right up the alley with, do I want to draft a running back with the ACL injury heading into the season? I know they're saying that he looks good in camp. And the Broncos, now that they have Sean Payton, will ground and pound because that's what Sean Payton does. He produces 2,000 2,000-yard running backs every single year. All these stats of things. He's so risky to me, especially with Samaje Perine being there. And I think Perine will get all the goal line work. I'm literally going to say that Perine will get all the goal line work this season. And the Broncos do have a favorable schedule at top 6 versus the run. You got to limit your expectations early with Javonte Williams. Coming in at 26 is my league-winning running back this season. It's going to be a full breakdown for Khalil Herbert because I love this guy so much this year. I'm just going to give it everything I've got on this one guy right here. The Chicago Bears' second best run schedule this season. Average yards per carry on his career is 5.3 yards per carry. Juke rate of 39.1%, which is number 7. Evaded tackles of 54, which ranks 22nd, and he didn't even have that many snaps last year. The job is his. I'm not buying the Roschon Johnson draft pick. He's been having struggles in camp. Deontay Foreman was supposed to take the goal line work. He almost got cut. Now he's hurt from the preseason game. Khalil Herbert is here for the show. I feel like next week I will have him in my top 18 to 15 range. His ADP is absolute gold in the 6th round right now. Get him in your drafts, and if you already have drafted, start making some trade moves for him because he's going to explode out of the scene in week 1. I guarantee it. At number 27 is Isaiah Pacheco, coming off injury, healthy, hitting camp good now. I know he was a rookie last year, late round draft pick, came in pretty well. I don't know if he has the full trust to Andy Reid yet, which is why I have him so low. If you watched down the stretch last year, it was Isaiah McKinnon. Maybe in his second year that will start to work in. He's also such a scare. The guy runs so hard, like it's like he's just coming out of us, just boom, and every time you don't know what to do with him. Like he could get hurt any play. I'm going to leave him at 27, but beyond that high of an offense, the way they move the ball, he could be 15 to 17 range as we go on, but right now I'm leaving at 27. At 28 comes in David Montgomery, who I said with Jahmyr Gibbs, the Lions have the #1 best schedule for the run this season. But like I was saying when I was talking about Jahmyr Gibbs, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is so much better than DeAndre Swift that I don't know that you'll see that same production that Jamal Williams had with the 17 touchdowns last year. But he is a better version of Jamal Williams. So, I mean, this is a wait and see on him, but he is a plug and play that you can probably play at flex every single week. I like David Montgomery at 28. At 29 is my most feared draft pick for running backs in this draft. I've tried to stay away the whole time, especially as soon as they came out saying Kenneth Gainwell was the running back one on the depth chart, is DeAndre Swift. The Eagles have the worst schedule versus running backs this year. Last year, they had a cakewalk schedule. This year, it's going to be a lot tougher for Hurts and the Eagles than people think. I mean, I don't know what to do with this guy. Like his ADP is way too high for me. He's off my draft wise, but I'm gonna leave him at 29 just based on his name and his breakout ability. If you play best ball, this guy can hit a home run at any time. I am not as high on DeAndre Swift as others. At number 30 comes Alvin Kamara. We know he has the 3-game suspension looming, and Kendre Miller will take his role in Jamal Williams, and they'll split it out. They do have a favorable top 10 ranked number 9 versus the run this season. But Alvin Kamara's numbers have been dropping drastically. Like he had 64% snap share last year, his lowest. His touchdown regression has been through the roof for the past 2 years. I just see them fading away from him. I know that the preseason hype is he looks faster than ever. It's his name that is keeping him here in the top 30. But I feel like when he comes around week 4 to 5, like some people say, that he'll be a top 15 running back. I'm not fully in on that. It could be, could not be. I mean, they have an easy division, which is favorable, and you like that. But I'm gonna leave him at 30, and we're gonna go from there and see how it goes. That was it for my second YouTube video ever. My running back rankings 1 through 30. If you guys like the content, like and subscribe. As always, all feedback, I want good or bad. I'm trying to bring you guys the best fantasy football content I can. I have had a terrible voice for the past 2 days. Hopefully it's gone, upcoming weeks or so. It's been driving me crazy. But that's it, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.